Hey tubers, hey, today we're going to be installing two things. I'll break it up, but we have a pedal commander here that I ordered, and we have a cold air intake. These are both going on a 2018 Dodge Ram SLT 6-cylinder. It's got the 3.6 liter in it, and the truck's behind me, as you can see. We'll probably do the pedal commander first and then go into the cold air intake. So I'll do a separate video for the cold air intake and a separate video for this pedal commander. So stay tuned and we'll get going with this project. Okay, so I'm gonna stop pulling stuff out of this box now. This is the box that the cold air intake came in. How you guys doing? Of course, mine is dented right there, coming out of the box. Got a nice dent in it. And this flange is dented here. So I got a dented flange, as you can see. I got a nice big dent here. And honestly, that looks kind of dented. So, not particularly happy with craftsmanship so far. It's got another dent down here marking it, but I don't know. Trying to return this thing right now, so we'll keep going with the installation, but yeah, definitely not happy with this. I might have to try to bend this out with some pliers or something. I'll put the links too of where I purchased this stuff from, and I definitely will leave a review that this stuff is coming in not so hot. Filter. Alright, so getting started here, it looks like I'm going to start taking this tube off because I want to remove this portion of the air box here. So I grabbed a screwdriver, and it's a flat blade, and I'm going to take these bolts off here. Screws, technically. And I'm going to loosen these clamps and take this hose off. Get this hose out of the way. All these parts I'm just going to set off to the side. I've never taken any of this apart before, so if I go out of step, out of the norm, it's because I never watched a video on how to remove this. I'm going off see here. I'm gonna see if I can get this cover off. I have taken the air filter, or replaced the air filter. This is my Fram air filter that I put on maybe about 5-6 months ago. And she's dirty. She's definitely, I don't know if you can see that, but she's dirty after 5 or 6 months. Damn. Wow. So, dirty. Alright, so this whole unit basically has just these little dowels here, whatever you want to call them, these little pin dowels, and basically these just right here and here, it just pops in to that. So this is like super easy so far to take off. So now my whole airbox area is clear, and I believe I'm going to have to take this 3.6 liter cover off, which I think this, if I'm not mistaken, it could be a pain in the butt to take off, because it's hard to see what's holding it on. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. Okay, so here I'm showing you what it looks like installed. This is basically the tube, the intake system now without any of the plastics over the motor or anything. So you can see how, I don't know if it looks cleaner, but you definitely have access to a lot more areas of this unit. The clamps, everything that hold the unit together, and inside the cold air intake airbox. And here I'm going to point out where there's some gaps. This is just the way the design is, I suppose. And I'm going to show you a picture here shortly of just some sealer that I used to close up these gaps. Because everything right now, if you were to go off-roading or whatever, any splashes would go up there and get on the air filter. Here's what I did with the sealer. You can see it's messy, and I can shave some of that down, but it's just to basically protect it so the water and dirt can't get up in there. And that's the second portion of the air sealer. There's even a small little gap underneath that secondary box there, but I wasn't too worried about that at the time. Here I'm pointing out how you can get at the coil packs on the passenger side pretty easy. It does make it a lot more accessible without all the plastic covers and stuff that were on the top. Anything you want to do for maintenance now, even clean your motor, is a lot easier. You'd still have to take that upper plenum off if you want to get to the other 3 coils on the driver's side. And I'm just showing you where the throttle body and mass airflow filter is. Now for the pedal commander. This is basically just after pulling the pedal commander out of the box. And you can see how it's packaged. Comes in that little box there. And I'm going to sort through here. That's the Velcro that you would attach to the pedal commander and whatever portion of the truck or car you're installing it on. That's a little booklet they give you if you want to read through it.
So here I'm going to show you where you're going to slide these two connectors underneath, and I kind of cut it off with the camera, but I'm sliding it under the steering wheel column right there, and it's coming out the bottom. That's the easiest access point. The steering wheel doesn't get affected by it. Now when we go into here, that there is the connector for the, basically your throttle, your gas pedal. And that there, once you unhook that, you're going to take the part of the pedal commander that doesn't exactly look like that one, which is the bottom one in this picture, and you're going to plug that one into that portion that you just unplugged. It's dangling there. And you'll see I'll struggle with it. It's definitely not super easy to do with one hand. Right here I'm fidgeting with it. Now I'm showing you it's plugged in together. And then this other piece that looked identical to what I just unplugged is going to plug into your actual accelerator pedal connector there, module. And you'll hear it clicks right in, and then it locks in, so it's that easy to do. Now you just gotta look for a spot to basically tie up your wiring so your wiring isn't all dangling around. So I'm pointing at the wiring, and I'm showing you that I'm gonna put it right to that. Well, I'm gonna wrap it around that bottom air duct there. And I just coil it around, and then I use a tie and connect it up. This is a supplied wipey. They gave you alcohol wipe. And I'm just going to wipe down the area where I plan to put the pedal commander. And I eventually had to use a glue gun, one of the cold glue guns, to actually get it to stick, because my end just kept coming off after I was done doing that. I don't know if I put the adhesive pad on, Velcro pad on too fast, and I didn't let it dry good enough, but for some reason, this is Florida, it gets really hot down here, so the pedal commander, that unit kept coming off with the Velcro. So with the little glue gun, I just put a little squirt on there and stuck it on, and it stayed ever since. Now I'm going back under there, and I'm just showing you how I tied off that wire there. As you can see, just wrapped it around the air duct, put the electrical tie on, and that's it.
Okay guys, so here's where I mounted the pedal commander. If you remember, I stuck it on there, and now we're getting ready to run this thing. So right now it's hard to see. The LED lights in it are not super bright, so I mean at night you'd be able to see it good, but in the daytime, so right now the echo is actually showing that it's on. So we want to get out of echo. This is basically, I guess, I don't know, neutral or whatever, because it's not, and nothing's lit right now. That one's city, sport plus. So sport plus is what we want, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I clicked it, I can see the light, it moved up to the +4. So it starts off, every program you go into, it starts off at norm, at ground zero, and then you can go negative or positive. So everything looks to be working so far, because it went through to Sports Plus. So we're going to see how this works now. It should make this thing super sensitive. We'll see if that happens or not. So
just drive. Okay, I'm just tapping the gas and this thing wants to go. Wow. Yeah, that really does make it super sensitive. This thing usually has, usually you got to push down on it to go. And wow, the throttle is right there, right at the very beginning. You just tap it, and it's like basically giving it almost halfway accelerator. So my exhaust is normally loud, so I can't tell at this point until I actually get on it what that cold air intake is going to sound like. So wow. Okay, so it seems like it's got more pull when it's going, and I can definitely hear it in the front now. I can definitely hear that air getting sucked in. I'm really hoping my computer's compensating for all this extra air going in now, because it's definitely getting a ton more air versus the stock airbox. I had a Fram, a high flow Fram air filter in the stock airbox, but it's nothing like this. And she just keeps pulling. That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try a different mode out now. So obviously we know that the Sport Plus is super spunky. And I'm gonna go totally opposite way, and I'm gonna put it into echo mode. So all you're supposed to do for echo mode is hold in on the star for 3 seconds. Oh damn, you can feel it just drop right down. So right now I'm in echo mode, and since when it goes into echo mode, remember it goes into just the solid 0, so I can negative that even more, -0 it more, or I can open it up and bump it up 4 notches. But as soon as I did that, it just dropped it right down. So it, once again, it's not, it messes kind of with the horsepower, but it's not increasing or decreasing your horsepower. It's just messing with that pedal. And so I guess it basically, senses where the pedal position is, and then just basically kicks the power down from there, or power up wherever you got the pedal sitting. And of course I'm at another light, so bear with me a second. Okay, we're getting ready to go, so I am accelerating now. And now this feels like how the truck was originally. So when you push on the pedal, you're actually feel like you're running more of the tachometer as you push the pedal. It feels like you're more in control, if you want to put it that way. I don't know if that sounds right or not, but it feels like, yeah, you're definitely controlling the tach with your pedal at this point. Sport Plus, you're just tapping it and it's jumping way the hell up. So I mean, if you're racing or something like that, it's probably where you want it, unless your car just lights up the tires or something like that, and that might not be a good thing. Traction control, I know they're only so good when your vehicle has some decent horsepower. You can still break the tires free. Actually, the more I'm using the pedal now in this mode, it does seem like it's more boggier. Like it doesn't, even though it seems like you're controlling the pedal a lot more with your foot pushing down on it, it just feels like it's like bog, like a dog. The only way you're gonna get power out of it is if you punch it. So you still got full power if you get on it. I mean, it's not tampering with your power. It's still there. You just got to really put it to the boards to get there. So, and this is supposed to save you on fuel. So, but for me, I would just be burying my foot to the boards all the time. So it probably wouldn't work. So yeah, I mean, if you put it to the boards, your power is still right there. I mean, and I can hear that cold air intake just screaming up front. That shit's insane. That is super loud. And bear with me because I'm like in traffic here, so this is kind of like, I like to try a different mode. I don't know how the other modes there are only going to be probably semi-different from what we just, because we went from the extreme quick to, well, actually, I'm still in just the regular 0. I could even negative this out more, drop it down 3, and it would even be more sluggier for when you're pushing on the pedal. So it could even get worse than this. I wouldn't get, and definitely, I don't think I would get worse than this. But my passing gear, everything's still there. You just got to push the pedal in deeper to get it to that point. Amazing with these electronics, how you can tinker with them. The days of the pedal and stuff with the cable running to your carburetor, long gone. Now I know why everybody likes these pedal commanders, because when you put it in that sport mode, I mean, you're just tapping the gas, so your reaction time doesn't even have to be as good. I mean, when your reaction, you're pushing the accelerator usually close to the boards, and with this thing, you're just tapping it, and then bam, you're already getting like half your throttle just in a tap. Let me see. Going casual, I'm gonna bump it up. So I'm gonna hit the star while I got my foot on the accelerator and see what happens. That was once. Twice. So yeah, if you hold the throttle in and you push that button, you can feel it generating more power each time you push the button. So I'm in city right now. I'm pushing the button. I got my foot accelerating. Yeah, and then when you get into Sport Plus, it really drops it because it wants to go. It wants to throw you like into a way higher RPM. So cool. All right. So basically, we've seen how the pedal commander operates. So these things here, Mr. Pedal Commander, I know there's a couple of different variants of this thing, but this one here, as far as I can see, I definitely have no complaints on it. I will be playing with it. It'll give me something to play with more and more, but yeah, this is definitely something if you're, you know, like to, even with fuel economy, if you want to even try out the Eco mode more, which I guess can't hurt with the fuel prices increasing. Thank you, Democrats. We'll probably soon be up to that $5 mark again, and a gallon. So I definitely will be taking advantage of Eco mode if and when that comes around. So, but Pedal Commander and the actual cold air intake, K&N Super 77 cold air intake, it made a huge difference.
Granted, the pedal commander was like 300 and the cold air intake was a little over 300, so it's a quick way of spending, you know, under $700, I mean, altogether. And it didn't actually take that long to do. Between both projects, I was pretty much right around 2 hours, and that was watching a video on how to install the cold air intake, which I was going to tackle at first on my own, but I had something to do later in the day, so I was like, well, I said, you know what, I said, let me watch the video, that way I don't stumble and, you know, take extra time that I don't need to. So within 2 hours, you can install a pedal commander and a cold air intake pretty easily. Once again, I would imagine anything with this 3.6 liters probably all the same or pretty similar. This is in the 2018 Dodge Ram SLT 4x4, but I'm sure the Pentastar is in a bunch of different motors, which the project's probably just as easy in any of them. So, alrighty. So until next time, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and all links to how to do this project are going to be listed in the description, only because that some of these links that I found to do the project, they did it a lot better than I would have done it, so worthwhile watching them as well. So alright, thanks guys, stay tuned for maybe some other kind of improvement coming way down the road. Bye.